Hello there, commanders, and welcome back to National Cup. We are in the second battle of the last match of the third round between Ukraine and Spain. And the Ukrainian team, most likely, the Ukrainian team has elected to go always again. Well, as the Ukrainians and the Russians play all the time together, it's no wonder that they both really prefer the same set of maps. So let's remove the fog of war and see what both teams are up to. Last time we saw this match, it was a not very quick, but relatively quick victory by base capture by the Russian team onto the French team, if I remember correctly. I think the same thing actually happened to the Polish team as well. It has been quite a while since I was recording those battles, so I don't remember that much, but well, let's focus on the matter at hand, battle at hand. We have here First Blood possibly being, yep, there we go, 1 out of 5, sort of a flat arc. So, the Spanish team electing to go archers right now, although they do have repeating crossbows as well. Where are the repeating crossbows of the Spanish team? Over here, there we go. So both ranged units over here, just huge rush onto B. Yep, most of the players, only 2 players being left over here, actually just 4 units. So they're looking to go again for trade. Ukrainian team rushes D, captures D, and the same is happening, a mirror matchup for the Spanish team. I almost want to say French because I'm just having deja vu. But yeah, it is the Spanish team pushing through now in the healing zone with their cavalry really nicely. If anybody wants to go there, yeah, they can't. And the Russian team is defending the point with 5 units. And it's basically it's who can capture the point faster. The Ukrainians don't have that much of a powerful push over here. They have their own archers and repeating crosses over here. They are already mowing down through this the Spanish units. Only 1 healthy unit left, not going to stay that way for long. And the Ukrainian team is already on top of C, 1 minute to unlock it. And the Spanish team is still struggling in deleting those Ukrainian units. It's taking them quite a longer while. So, the Ukrainian team is definitely going to be faster in the rotation. D almost, there we go, being captured now. And they are already sending multiple units over to C as it unlocks in 40 seconds. And the Spanish still not routing them. I mean, this is Guan Yu, so God of War are available, but they're not being used at the moment. There we go, Warcry is now finally going to route them, both of the units. And there we go, and the Spanish team is going to get B in a few seconds. But they are largely late on the C contest. So yeah, I am definitely getting deja vu again from the finals between SUNTZU and White Wolves from the War Games Institute finals. I'll probably link to that in the top right corner if you want to see that. This is going very similarly. We'll see what is going to be the difference. So instead of going to contest C like the SUNTZU did, the Spanish team is electing to go for the base, trying to outpace the Ukrainian team that way. Well, it worked for the Spanish team last time, although the C contest was going for quite a while. Okay, that was close. That was close. The archers were almost caught in there. I think it was actually a mistake of a Ukrainian party. Like, they could have gone for it, but they didn't. So yeah, now let's see 11 units of the Spanish team inside the base and counting as they're trying to prevent the Ukrainian team from getting in. The Ukrainian team is denied from entering this way, but they can still go through here and they will be able to get multiple units on top of it. But 7 to 15, the base capture is still going quite fast. Now the cavalry will find a way to charge into the repeating crossbows and archers. This will not remove the units unless they get routed. 2 of them will, the rest not. And let's see, 9 versus 14, the base capture is still going through. 10 versus 13, still both teams reinforcing. 10 versus 15, 15 11, 14 11. But yeah, the Ukrainian teams, yeah, they're sacrificing their repeating crossbows, but they need to. Oh, unless they get routed, one of them is. So that is going to remove that unit from the count. But 12, 13 versus 10, 9, there we go. So the Ukrainian team have stopped the count. There we go. Putting the modern memes into the lower arena commentary. So now the Spanish team It's going to suffer quite heavily for that, as they are losing multiple units here. They are getting cut down, so a lot of experience is going to go the way of the Ukrainian team. Let's see if the the Spanish, if they can capitalize on anything in there. Most of their units have just died, so yeah, 4 players now entirely dead on the side of the Spanish. Will they be able to get anything back? This is a possibility, as none of the Ukrainian team's players have actually died. It means that they cannot go and just respawn over here at D. So now it is the chance for the Spanish team to do that, and that's what they do. That is nice. I really like that. They notice that, they see the dynamic. Actually, the scoreboard is lying to me here. Oh yes, it's probably based off of what the Ukrainian team sees. I swapped the colors now, did I? Yep, there we go. Okay. It is disabled. Okay, so yeah, I would like to report a bug, but maybe on that later. Okay, now we're back. So, the Spanish team is sending their dogs towards D. One of the sword units is being sent over there as well. Does the player have anything else to bring? No, so that is going to be 1 unit of swords, 1 unit of cavalry against 3 units of dogs. Repeating crossbows are being sent to the center, as it was almost contest. Well, maybe it will once that cavalry unit teleports out of this engagement. There we go. C is now being captured, but yeah, it will definitely be contested by the Ukrainian team in time. The Spanish team is just mostly gone from the map. The Ukrainians now launching a counterattack after defending the base towards B. Yeah, well, we do have archers over here for the Spanish team, able to... We're looking for some sort of a duel between archers, but the Ukrainian archers have the advantage of being inside tall grass, so they can just be undetected and not being able to be shot at. So, oh no, they do. Are they hunted? They are hunted, so really nicely done by the Spanish team. They'll just hunt. Oh, this unit is going to rout out, but the other unit can just bring it back by not shooting, as long as the Spanish team can keep the ranged units of the Ukrainian team away, so that they cannot deny the hitting that way. Spotting is going to come through here by the spears, so the spears are going to spot archers and everything else that is going to try to heal. So these spears need to be dealt with. The cavalry can do it, there we go. Going for a reflank, that is Scipio. Charge, war cry, is a reflank, side flank applied. It's also Hannibal, so he has determination. Flank has been lost. Yep, this is definitely not flanked. It's all over the place, so it's obviously not flanked. Let's see how the D is going. The dogs are cutting down or eating up, I don't know, just nibbling on the cavalry that is in oath, so it is going to last quite a while, but the dogs are pretty good counter to that. The infantry has made its way over there, and maybe it is contesting. The swords have actually... that's probably... no, one of them have been killed, and now the other 1 or 2 brought the other 1 or 2 back. There we go. So yeah, and the Spanish team are going to reinforce D, which it doesn't look like they will. D is going to stay on the Ukrainian side. The battle is still very close, 2.2 points per second gained by the Ukrainian team to 2 points gained by the Spanish, as they have managed to defend B. As I said, once the points have been captured, it is very difficult to recapture them. That is true for pretty much every single map in the game, if not just literally every single one. But anyway, the Spanish team is trying to launch an attack onto the Ukrainian base again. Glaives have been brought back by just literally one barely staying alive, recalling after a failed attack onto B. And now the Ukrainians, the Spanish need to push into the Ukrainian team, but they do have now the healing zone over at C. So they have a healing zone over here, and they will be able to pour into the base from those 2 directions. And those healing zones are much closer than the one of the Spanish team all the way back over there. My camera has been teleported, thank you very much. We're still in here contesting the base. 5 units for the Spanish team inside the base, but I think they are already realizing that this is not going to go well, and they are now pulling back. So now that they know that the base capture isn't going to really work, they really need to find another way back into the game. Repeating crossbows are being sent over to D, and the dogs are being sent over to C. With repeating crossbows definitely do need to be accompanied by something. Dogs may not be the best bodyguards, especially as the Ukrainian cavalry is still in the area, but they're still better than nothing. There we go. Now they're going to go and tag along with the repeating crossbows. Well, if I was the Spanish team right now, I probably would have tried to capture C, as they just don't have D. They know that there are multiple units defending here. I mean, they don't know, but they should expect that from the last time they were around. They saw both spears and swords being sent here to defend, so it's safe to assume that it's still being the case. The Spanish team have a really difficult time trying to find their way back. And it's mostly the map design, but well, they just are losing the momentum constantly. They're pushing one player, one unit, one after another, just dying and dying and dying. And the Ukraine team is capitalizing on that and slowly pushing towards B again and probably looking to launch an attack, but they don't really have to. They already are controlling 3 points. Nice barrage here for the Spanish team, eliminating one of the repeating crossbows, but now that the barrage has been used, the Ukrainian archers can go forward and try to barrage the Spanish archers if they don't respect them. They also have a huge XP advantage for the Ukrainian team, so the archer duel is definitely going to go the way. There we go, barrage being called. Ooh, the Spanish archers don't respect that, and now they're getting wrecked. I mean, it's sort of an equal trade over here, 1-for-1, as this Ukrainian archers also fucked up a little bit, but it's still sort of an equal trade, and the Ukrainian archers have that XP advantage, giving them more damage in each volley compared to the Ukrainian, the Spanish ones. So there we go. That duel is nonetheless going to go the way of the Ukrainian team, but the Spanish team has been pushed very closely to their healing zone, and so they will be able to respond. But yeah, the Ukrainian team is taking their time, pushing slowly but surely towards B, maybe launching a counterattack. The Spanish team is now finally close to, and here comes the cavalry I was talking about. Yep. Cavalry is not a good bodyguard for crossbows or any ranges. I mean, it can be if they're used properly, but even then, still not really. The cavalry for the Spanish team was here in the area, but instead it elected to fight the infantry on D. They managed to pick up one of the units that was trying to go back to heal, but well, if you lose your repeating crossbows, you're really running out of killing power over here on this flank. So yeah, that single cavalry unit over here on this flank is definitely making sure that the Spanish team are not getting D. They're also not getting C, as they are not even there to contest. So yeah, still 2.2 points per second for the Ukrainian team, 1 point per second for the Spanish team, as B is now being contested. B is probably not going to be lost either. Now the Ukrainian team has managed to put one of the units around the hill, send them to deny the healing zone, but it has arrived slightly too late, as 4 or 5 units have just healed up. And the Spanish team are going to race towards B, trying to kill the last remaining units of the Ukrainian team that are still in the area and at the moment contesting. So the Ukrainian team is sending quite a lot of reinforcements. Most of it is ranged though, so that is not going to help much. They need a lot of infantry committed to B if they want to capture it, but again, they don't really need to. They are controlling 3 points out of 5, so they can just slowly but surely win. And why would you risk a huge rush like that if it's on the Spanish team to try to do something? And they are at the moment being pushed down, like they're under the wall, well, having the backs against the wall, really desperately trying to get control over back on B. I mean, they are sort of in control. They still cannot really get rid of that spear unit over here. Hazardable, proving a little bit hard to remove. And the healing zone is now quite heavily being denied. Let's see, the dogs have died completely. Yep, that is correct. So if the dog player elects to respawn over here on B, he will be able to help the the Spanish team to clear the Ukrainian team units from the healing zone and be able to reinforce B. But yep, the Ukrainian approach of slowly but surely pushing with 6 ranged units is slowly paying dividends, as they are now 3 units versus 3 units in terms of melee, but they're supported by a lot of ranged units as well. The repeating crossbows are slowly also killing this unit. There we go, quick reload, full volley into the back of the spears. Find the Shade is still preventing most of the damage from going through, but the healing zone now completely cleared of the Spanish team. But if a player is completely dead, well, he can just respawn literally in the middle of the Ukrainian formation, but he won't be able to make it on top of B very quickly, as the Spanish team is losing their last 2 units on top of it. And there we go, one last unit left. One is being chased away, or rather being forced to chase the repeating crossbows. Retreating, what the hell? Yep, not enough block chance. And B is going to go the way of the Ukrainian teams, Ukrainian team, looking to accelerate the battle a little bit, as most of the Spanish team has already given up on trying to defend B. They have respawned over at the base, trying to push. See, look at that coverage, it's got fed on all these repeating crossbows. Yeah, the Ukrainian team is really ahead in terms of XP as well. Well, the Spanish team can now take C, only 2 units over there, already being shot by archers, cavalry on their backs already. So the Spanish team is poised to be able to just surround C, start flanking units, but they're just not going forward for some reason. Cavalry is also just sort of hanging around the area. Nice charge, but missed and cancelled. You probably expected a charge to be answered, but there we go. Oath versus, well, not Oath. So yeah, the Ukrainian cavalry is just going to disengage. Finally, another unit of Spanish cavalry being sent into action, still rank 0. The other one is rank 1. Okay, let's see if the Spanish team can actually get C. They're close to clearing the Ukrainian units that are on top, but there's a shit ton of Ukrainian units approaching. And now cavalry charge being used to just reposition the cavalry more quickly. Is the Oath available in here as they walk into the glaives? The glaives also just ignore them, they walk through them. They really need to get on top of C. C is now being captured, but cavalry charge available. This sword unit is also making its way through. Another spear unit is making its way through as well. So the Ukrainians are looking to keep the way they are. Only range units here in the front line for the Spanish team, so nothing really able to contest the point. Well, one of the glaive units have made their way onto C. Very briefly, they're going to be killed very soon as well, as just one flank or just some missile fire are going to clear that. The dogs also being killed. They're very vulnerable to missile units, and C will be uncontested very soon. Come on, just grab it. Fuck it, there we go, killed. Works as well. 6 points per second for the Ukrainian team, as they're less than 500 points away from victory. Spanish team launching another quite desperate attack with just 3.5 units onto D. Again, not really going to work, as the Ukrainians are just there. And yeah, even if they don't have numbers advantage over here, still the healing zone, they will be able to heal out multiple units over here. And it's not like you can kill those units very quickly. It's going to be an equal match, probably until the very end of the battle. E now being contested by the Ukrainian team, dropping the point gain for the Spanish team to 0, just to add insult to injury. Spanish team tried to counter-attack B, but that has been stopped as well by the Ukrainian infantry in the middle of the flank. Cavalry now going on there. Now the cavalry could do something. Obviously, this is not going to really turn the tides of of this battle, as the Ukrainian team is definitely winning that. So let's see if this cavalry can really capture B. B versus 1, and this is Scipio, so that's an easy matchup. Guan Yu has access to God of War though, so that is going to be a little bit harder to route. Frontal attack, that somehow has turned into a left flank. That makes a lot of sense. Tenacity of Steel also increases the morale of the unit. There we go. That may be counted as a rear flank, but probably not. Actually, at the moment, there is not a single flank being applied to this unit. And this unit is super slow. Caltrops actually were dropped back here. Okay, so yeah, this unit is definitely not flanked. Yep. No flanks to see here. Definitely not. So yeah, the Spanish team really nicely presenting to us the flanking system is completely broken, and like, well, now it's a rear flank apparently, as things have drastically changed that engagement towards the end of the battle. Yeah, again, come on CA, please fix. I understand that it's a little bit harder to fix, but yeah, we've been waiting for that since the introduction of the system, really. Well, that is a 2-0 victory for the Ukrainian team, as if you couldn't tell by well, the battle was really decided like halfway through, even like 1/3 through of the battle. Once the Spanish team failed the first attempt to capture the Ukrainian base, there was really no coming back from that. Maybe they should have just gone for C, tried to contest C. They were in a okay position there, and I think C wasn't captured, so they could have contested it, and you know that would have been an equal fight, as the healing zones are an equal amount, an equal distance away. But well, let's look at the standings. So we have Ukraine and Russia tied still for first place, 3 wins, 0 ties, 0 losses. So far both teams undefeated with 9 points. Third place is China, 5-point gap actually. So China with 4 points, 1 win, 1 tie, 1 loss on third place. Then we have Spanish team, 3 points with 1 win against the French team and 0 ties, 2 losses. Poland on 5th place with 1 point, 0 wins, 1 tie, 2 losses. And then French team last place, 0 points with 0 wins, 0 ties and 3 losses so far. So you do have 2 clear favorites of the tournament already, you know, emerging from the pack, Ukraine and Russia. As the rest of the teams, the rest of the pack is still quite close, 4, 3, 1 and 0 points. But we still have 2 rounds to go. So the standings can definitely change in there. So next round is going to be China versus Russia. It's going to be the next battle. Then France versus Ukraine, and then Poland versus Spain, which I think will be the highlight match of the round, as Spain and Poland are just 2 points away and they're fighting for the 4th place, and that is, you know, the last place that guarantees you the advance to knockout stage, to playoff stage, whatever you want to call it. So fight for the 4th place is going to be definitely interesting and exciting between Spain and Poland, but before that, China and Russia, France and Ukraine. So I'll see you there in the weeks to come. In the meantime, you can help us bring to the war and back to the West. You already know what to do. And well, until then, I'll see you on Arenas Battlefields Commanders. Good music.